significant rise in COVID-19 cases among foreigners. Barbers to remain shut, government warns eateries over SOPs. Thanks for joining us on Updates at Noon with me, Renee Fong. The actual daily case graph of all COVID-19 cases in Malaysia has shown a significant increase in positive cases involving non-Malaysians since 28th of April. Thus, Health Director General Datuk Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said the country is facing a new challenge which needs to be tackled together. Although foreigners are contributing to the increased number of cases, Datuk Dr. Noor Hisham stressed that they should not be ostracized or stigmatized by Malaysians.
Saban tahun penggaulan dan percampuran rakyat Malaysia dengan golongan bukan warga negara memang dia terhad. Namun, kehadiran mereka terutamanya pekerja bukan warga negara telah turut membantu dalam memperkasa ekonomi di dalam negara kita. Sewajarnya kita perlu mengenal pasti dan mencari cara penyelesaian bagi menangani isu penularan COVID-19 di kalangan mereka. Oleh itu, pendekatan seluruh jentera kerajaan, pertubuhan bukan kerajaan dan juga masyarakat adalah diperlukan agar isu ini dapat ditangani secara menyeluruh.
As of yesterday, a total of 35,000 foreigners have been screened for COVID-19. Of them, 2,014 tested positive, 3,474 tested negative, and the rest are still awaiting their results. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry will carry out COVID-19 screenings on more than 800 inmates and 700 employees from the Sungai Buloh prison after a non-citizen prisoner tested positive for COVID-19. Datuk Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said the inmate was detained at the Sungai Buloh prison since 2016 as an undocumented immigrant.
Negara Sungai Buloh tersebut adalah bukan warga negara sejak 2016 dan telah berada di sana dan pernah keluar pada 13 hari bulan Mac 2020 dan sekarang ini dapati positif. Jadi kita telah bantuan tersebut telah dipindahkan ke depo tahanan imigresen Semenyih. Dan kita sekarang ini melihat kepada kontak rapat bantuan tersebut dan kita juga akan saring kalau ada kontak rapat yang terdedah kepada bantuan tersebut.
The inmate is currently being treated at the COVID-19 low-risk patient quarantine and treatment centre at the Malaysia Agro Exposition Park Serdang, MIPS. On another note, Datuk Dr. Noor Hisham said the Health Ministry plans to increase the number of nurseries in government hospitals to 146 from the current 112. At the same time, he said the MOH also plans to introduce 2 shifts for the childcare service to meet the needs of the frontline staff who are also working in shifts. The proposed standard operating procedure SOPs for the reopening of the childcare centres will be presented to the National Security Council NSC today.
Kita akan khaskan taska di hospital dan jika kalau taska di hospital tak ada juga, tak cukup ruang ataupun tak ada taska di hospital yang tertentu, maka kita nasihatkan pengusaha taska untuk memberi keutamaan kepada warga Kementerian Kesihatan untuk mereka tempatkan di taska tersebut.
He said this at a COVID-19 daily media conference yesterday. Datuk Dr. Noor Hisham further stressed that nurseries involved must comply with the standard operating procedures SOP, including having limited interaction with the children and having only one teacher assigned to a particular group. The RM1 fee waiver for automated teller machine ATM withdrawals made through MAPS will remain enforced throughout the Conditional Movement Control Order CMCO, which is scheduled to end on 9th June. Senior Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said so far no discussions had been held for applications made to banks to amend the implementation of the fee exemption, which came into force on 6 April.
Setakat hari ini tidak ada perbincangan lagi tidak ada permohonan apa-apa daripada pihak bank dan sebagainya untuk charge fee RM1 tersebut. Jadi oleh itu pengecualian RM1 itu dikekalkan.
The government had earlier decided that all banking institutions and PayNet should waive the RM1 charge for interbank ATM withdrawals made through the Malaysian electronic payment system Sudan Berhad MAPS to avoid congestion at bank counters. Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, during his daily press meet yesterday, also said all restaurants should observe the SOP, including checking the temperatures of workers and customers, compelling customers to register their full names and telephone numbers and operate only 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. As such, he said there are no exemptions in the SOP issued by MKN for restaurants, and all operators, whether famous or not, have to abide by it.
Oleh kerana mereka popular, maka mereka buka ikut suka hati mereka. Tak boleh. Dan saya harap pihak berkuasa mengambil tindakan kepada mana-mana restoran yang gagal mematuhi SOP yang dikeluarkan oleh kerajaan. Besok saya akan adakan mesyuarat. Saya akan beritahu kepada pihak polis, pihak BBT supaya mengambil tindakan segera kepada mana-mana yang engkar seperti ini.
To another question, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said barbers and hairdressers are not allowed to resume operations, including rendering their services at houses of clients, as their business is still under the prohibited list of the CMCO. He added that the National Security Council has yet to determine health guidelines for barbers and hair salon.
Untuk kedai gunting memang tidak dibenarkan sama sekali untuk gunting rambut, ya. SOP sedang disediakan. Saya percaya pihak MKN sedang menyediakan SOP bersama dengan Kementerian Kesihatan. Dan setakat ini belum dibentangkan di dalam mesyuarat khas menteri-menteri.
Thus, it will remain among the few non-essential services which are still prohibited from operating under the Conditional Movement Control Order, CMCO. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah yesterday received a telephone call from Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan at Istana Negara. According to Istana Negara's official Facebook page, the 30-minute telephone conversation, which began at 4 p.m, focused on how Malaysia and Turkey could cooperate in addressing the COVID-19 outbreak, as well as its post-pandemic challenges. Among other matters discussed were measures to strengthen existing bilateral relations and enhancing collaboration with various fields. The session was said to be the first such discussion via telephone between the King and Erdogan. According to the statement, Al-Sultan Abdullah was scheduled for a 5-day state visit to Turkey beginning 19th April, but the trip had been postponed due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Turkey is Malaysia's third largest trading partner from West Asia, while Malaysia is Turkey's largest trading partner in ASEAN. Malaysia's total trade with Turkey amounted to 5.22 billion ringgit from January to July 2019. Total exports were valued at 4.24 billion ringgit, while imports totaled 0.98 billion ringgit. A shop in Ipoh, Perak has been issued with a compound for selling N95 face masks way above the maximum price set by the government. Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs KPDN HEP Perak Branch Chief Enforcement Officer V. Ravichandran said he had received complaints on the matter yesterday before a team of 4 officers inspected the premises located in Sibilin at about noon. In a statement issued last night, Ravichandran said investigations found at the premises sold N95 face masks for 14 ringgit per unit compared to the maximum price of 6 ringgit. The premises was issued with a 2,000 ringgit compound as the operator had violated Section 11, the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011. He added that thus far KPDN HEP Perak had received 703 complaints and inspected 31,344 business premises. Stern action had been taken against 429 cases with a total collection of compounds at 108,150 ringgit and fines at 45,000 ringgit. Police raided 3 homestays believed to have been used to carry out drug trafficking activities in Kemaman, Terengganu on Saturday. Kemaman Police Chief Superintendent Hanyan Ramlan said police detained 5 men aged between 20 and 39 during the raids carried out at 3 homestays, namely in Kampung Baru Felda Neram, Kampung Binjai and Kampung Kijal. During the first raid on Saturday in Kampung Baru Felda Neram, police arrested a 39-year-old unemployed man and seized 3 bottles of powder believed to be heroin, weighing 17 grams and a packet of heroin weighing 12 grams, valued at 4,500 ringgit. Hours later, police raided a homestay in Kampung Binjai and arrested 2 unemployed men aged 29 and 30 and seized 1,200 methamphetamine pills weighing 115 grams and 3 packets of shabu weighing 1.96 grams, all worth 25,000 ringgit. He said during the third raid carried out early yesterday in Kampung Kijal, police nabbed 2 fishmongers aged 39 and 20 and seized a packet of shabu weighing of 31.48 grams, worth 6,248 ringgit. All suspects were found to have history of drug-related crimes and tested positive for methamphetamine and were detained under Section 39B and 39A subsection 2 of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. The Johor Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA has foiled an attempt to smuggle out shabu and ecstasy worth 2.67 million ringgit to a neighbouring country in the waters of Parit Samsu near Muar early yesterday. Johor MMEA Deputy Director Operations Maritime Captain Sanifah Yusof said the seizure at 2:10 a.m. was the agency's biggest drug bust so far this year. Captain Sanifah said 24 black packages containing white powder believed to be shabu weighing about 24 kilograms were found in the first sack, while another 8 black packages containing pills believed to be ecstasy weighing about 14.7 kilograms were found in the second sack. He also believes that this syndicate is the same syndicate related with the Parit Jawa smuggling case, where MMEA found a number of drugs in Parit Jawa on 20th May. He said the MMEA officers who were on a patrol under Ops Benteng Laut noticed a suspicious boat manned by 2 men who hurled 2 sacks into the mangrove area when they saw the officers approaching before they sped away. The seized drugs were then brought to Batu Pahat Maritime Zone Office and the case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Johor MMEA Deputy Director added that the MMEA, with help from the Marine Police and Royal Malaysian Navy, would be enhancing patrols in the west coast of Johor, covering 231 kilometres from Sungai Kesang Muar to Johor Causeway. The Football Association of Malaysia, FAM, has decided to cancel 3 of its competitions this year: the President's Cup, the Youth Cup and the Malaysian Premier Futsal League, MPFL, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. FAM Secretary General Stuart Ramalingam said the decision had to be taken as football was a contact sport and futsal, besides also being a contact sport, is played indoors, both of which have been banned by the National Security Council as part of efforts to contain the outbreak. Elaborating further in a statement released, Stuart said with no certainty as to whether the Condition and Movement Control Orders, the MCO, will end on 9th June, FAM had to make a decision now so as not to affect the positions of all stakeholders. He said the decision was made after FAM had done due diligence, studies and series of internal discussions, besides pouring through the NSC guidelines and standard operating procedures SOP, as well as advice from the Health Ministry, MOH. All football and futsal tournaments and activities had been postponed since 16th March as a result of the outbreak. However, Stuart said the FAM and Malaysian Football League MFL will open up the registration for President's Cup and Youth Cup players with potential to be absorbed into club teams to give them the opportunity to feature in this season's Super League and Premier League. That's all from us on Updates at Noon. In our top stories, significant rise in COVID-19 cases among foreigners. Join us again for News on 2 at 7 this evening for more global updates. Till then, I'm Renee Fong. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant afternoon.